What's up, guys? Here for the fourth and final round with my blue-black mill deck that I've been playing with. 2-1 so far. Lost right away to a mono-green Emrakul deck. Then we pretty convincingly beat a Bant control deck and then a Nahiri deck. So, but we're going first. Let's see what we got. We got double fetch land, Hedron Crab with a bunch of other stuff to do. Pretty good hand. Definitely can't complain. Got turn my Hedron Crab with some fetches, so definitely going to keep, especially being on the play. So gonna go ahead and play a Polluted Delta right away. We'll go get an island, just because we don't know what kind of deck we're playing against yet. So we don't necessarily want to shock, because if it's a burn deck, we definitely don't want to shock at all, if possible. So go ahead and just get an island, play the Hedron Crab, and see what our opponent's got. Looks like Steam Vents. Maybe just a turn one Lightning Bolt or something. Yeah, figured as much. That really doesn't help us out a lot because it could be a couple of different decks. But hopefully this here breaking and entering will tell us. Actually, no, he's tapped out. We'll go ahead and fire off Glimpse of Unthinkable just because he's not going to be able to counter it. Normally we would play the breaking and entering first just because we'd want to play around his counter magic and make him burn through it. Now, we are playing against, it looks like just a blue-red Delver deck. This matchup is iffy. He's got a lot of stuff to slow us down, but sometimes they do come down to grindier matchups, and if that happens, we're definitely the favorite. So, he's just going to Serum Visions. Hopefully, he's just going to play a Delver next turn. Or this turn, rather, after scrying. Looks like he put bottom, top. Our Monster Sister here is also equally fine. Don't particularly want to take a bunch of damage to the face if we can help it, but definitely okay with that. So the question here now is, do we risk it and be greedy and play Thought Scour and hope to draw a blue source to play Glimpse of Unthinkable? Or do we just glimpse him? I've always been a fan of playing risky, so we will play it safe and play Glimpse of Unthinkable just so we don't look stupid on recording. So definitely going to fire off the Glimpse just because we can. If he had mana up, I would say absolutely just go Thought Scour and hope to draw something. But better to be safe than sorry. Plus 10 cards is 10 cards, so can't really complain. So you're just going to go ahead and electrolyze us for 2. Definitely the least scary thing he can do with 3 mana. And then get us in for another 2 with the Monster Swift Spear. So we are on a bit of a clock, but not too worried about it. We're making pretty good progress on his deck, so definitely go ahead and fetch. Again, just get an island here because we don't want to take a bunch of damage if we don't have to. Fire off the breaking half of this. Then I think what we're going to want to do here is we are going to want to Thought Scour just to draw some more cards, and then next turn we might be able to get them if we draw land. Depending on what you draw, or completely depending on what we draw, actually. So let's see here. Yeah, I was just going to say, the scariest thing that you can do right now is just fire off a bunch of bolts and then hit us with the Swift Spear. That definitely puts us in scary range. Looks like he's playing Burst Lightning as well. Just 2 damage because he didn't kick it, which is fine. Hoping we don't just die here. It's kind of the game plan. So drew a Swamp. It's a little awkward, but he's at 17 cards, and we've got 12, 13, 14 cards to get him with. So we definitely have to fire off the Thought Scour here. Surgical is a little tardy to the party like it sometimes is, but we'll definitely just... We're not dead yet. It's the important thing. Go ahead and Mind Sculpt him here. And then we are definitely going to play the Surgical targeting the Lightning Bolt for the actual mana. So we're definitely going to take out Lightning Bolt. Mostly because we don't want him to just bolt us into Oblivion. He's going to Electrolyze, which will do it as well. So unfortunately, looks like we're just going to get electrolyzed into Oblivion. But it happens. You know, we can always just we're gonna make him play it out just to make sure that he actually doesn't completely forget that he can just electrolyze us. But odds are he's gonna remember, unless our opponent is completely incompetent, or if he misclicks. Nope. 'Twas close, but not close enough. I saw your hand, bud. You don't need to show me again. Alright, it was close. I wasn't really worried about the remands, but we're definitely bringing the ley lines here. Finding myself bringing these in quite a bit, just because they're really good against a lot of matchups, and actually not too great here. They're maybe. We'll put those in a maybe pile. We'll put them over here. But yeah, Duress, obviously, no-brainer. Dragon's Claw, same thing. Celestial Purge, taking out those young Pyromancers and other problem permanents. Definitely want to bring those in. Definitely going to keep the Surgical Extractions in, just because they're really good at taking out some burned cards. And probably got the Snapcaster Mage. Not real impressive here. Mind Funerals are great. He doesn't have very many lands in the deck, so that's just a pretty good card against him. What we'll probably end up doing here, so we'll just cut the Mind Sculpts. They're not super awesome, but they're definitely interesting. Gonna take out one of the Surgicals, because I guess we don't really want to get flooded on them. So run it back with this. Keep the Archive Traps in. He didn't see him game 1, so he's not going to play around him game 2. And if we do have him in our opening hand, they're just ridiculously strong. So I would love to play first. Yep, so we got a bunch of fetches. Again, very strong opening hand. Got Hadron Crab and a bunch of fetches, so we got some Surgicals as well, so we can afford to take some extra damage if we need to. Because this is definitely surgicaling, especially if we get especially if we mill over like Lightning Bolt or something. Hoping that my Hadron Crab just doesn't die to Lightning Bolt like it usually does. Yeah, it always happens. Definitely gonna surgical that Lightning Bolt right now, though, just so we don't have to worry about just getting deaded to it all the time. So now we know that he has Elec, Island, Pierce, Visions, Pyro. Okay. So what we're gonna hopefully do this turn is don't really want to duress him. We definitely just want to get a swamp, fire off this glimpse, and then hopefully hit a young Pyromancer in there, which we didn't. Which feels kind of bad. Feels bad, man. The hope was to get one of those young Pyromancers and surgical it. Probably, I think we still want a surgical here just because he's going to play it next turn anyway. Probably going to take the Spell Pierce. Just because he doesn't have Electrolyze in there, and taking a Serum Visions isn't super relevant. And again, he doesn't have one of those in there. But we'll definitely go ahead and take the Spell Pierce out of there just to get rid of it. We know what his hand is now, so. And next turn when he plays that young Pyromancer, we'll just go ahead and fire off the Duress and take out the Visions that's in his hand. And just kind of, hopefully, just keep drawing some mill from there. Ugh, drawing out the Surgical is kind of gross. Definitely going to do Duress here, see what he's got. Drew a land, that's actually awesome. So we're going to go ahead and take the Serum Visions. And just play this Pluto Delta instead of... And we're not going to fetch with it in case we draw Hadron Crab, so... It's kind of one of those awkward hands where you just draw all the Surgical Extractions and feel bad for keeping them in your deck. Ugh, that's not the card I wanted to see. Yeah, we're in a pretty bad way here. Definitely have some draws that can kind of get us out of it, but lands are not involved in them. Yeah, this match was about 50-50, like I was saying earlier. Not great, but not terrible. Just kind of really depends on if I get the right pieces and if he gets the right pieces. So you can see it last game too. It was pretty close. He exactly killed me, and I would have exactly killed him because he had 5 cards left in his deck, and I had the 5 get him for 5 things. So almost certainly going to lose here, which happens. I mean, that's kind of what you feel a lot of the time when you play against the Delver decks. Is you just know you're going to lose, and it's a slow burn. I'm going to fire off a Thought Scour here. We're not just going to kick the bucket. We're going to definitely try to get him as much as we can, but you know, when you draw nothing but lands, it's kind of awkward. This is Delver flipped, so he's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power on the board, so we're going to let him hit us. Go to 1, 2, draw. He's going to try to Lightning Bolt us here, Electrolyze us, but he's going to Vendilion Click us. My bad. Sure, you can Vendilion Click me if you really want to. He might honestly just, yeah, I was just going to say, he might just click himself to try to draw a burn spell, which... click me. Oh well. Gonna take my. Oh, he's just gonna leave me with all my stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and play that, and then we're gonna fetch and die. So, yeah, pretty much knew we were gonna lose there just because we kept drawing a bunch of surgical, so it wasn't too much of a zone about that. But overall, we're 2-2 with the deck. About what I expected. Not. Like I said, this isn't a deck that I play when I want to win. This is a deck that I play when I want to have fun, and that's kind of the joy of Modern, is that you can make a deck like this. I mean, this deck cost me maybe 35, 40 bucks to put together on Magic Online. And that's what I love about it so much, is that like you can, in Modern, you don't have to spend a bunch of money to have a deck that you can play online, because everything is quite a bit cheaper. But really fun deck. Good thing this time around we didn't really get too many opponents that just kind of rage at us. I had one guy that I had to leave because he was complaining pretty hard, but it's a fun deck, and definitely would encourage anybody to play it. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.